crikey, it's raining cats and dogs out there.
Oh, I know. Oh, look at my art book. It's got all wet. I'm not going to be able to paint anything on that.
Oh, yes, you will. Don't be so wet. It's just as well you got it soaked, because you're going to need it absolutely soaked. My next little experiment. First of all, you need to soak your paper. Just chuck it on. Absolutely saturate it.
So why exactly are you doing that?
So I want my paint to spread out. Look, I'll show you. Bit of yellow. Just put it down here, just dab it on. See how it drags out? Look, if I get a bit more nice darker colour here, look, just drag it across. Whoa, look at that, you see?
Nice.
Just chuck it on. Look, isn't that lovely?
It goes quite feathery, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. So what I'm going to do is going to build up my background in all these colours. Look. Oh, that lovely,
What about
lovely,
if
lovely.
I did it the other way on then, and I started by getting the paint really wet? Because this is watercolour paint, isn't it? Let's see what happens. Woo! Let's get that nice green on the go. Now, this paper we're using is watercolour paper, isn't it? Does that help?
Yeah, it does, because it's nice and thick, you see. It can take a good soaking.
Right, I've got green on the go. Let's get the blue really wet in there. Whoa, look how wet that is. Nice. Wet, wet, wet. So I'd better not go too near with my lines. Where you're blending yours in, I don't want the blue and the green to blend, so I'm going to leave a tiny little gap.
Right, I've finished my background, my lovely sunset. Just got to let it dry, because I want to put on a foreground in silhouette. So I've just got one here. I'll just show you how I do this. Black paint. And I'm not putting too much paint on. It's quite dry, if you like, so... Yeah. What I'm trying to do is not let this paint spread. You see, I want to keep the edges nice and sharp.
Right, I'm going to start putting something on this green grass now with smaller brushes. Look at that! The green's still really wet, which means that the paint feathers out in the dots. Whoa, loads of paint on. They look like big poppies. Cool. And the size of brush, I think, matters, because if I go for a smaller brush, very thin one on the blue, yes, look at that. Lovely. Let's get some yellow in there for the centres. I think the fun bit about this, Mark, is it keeps on spreading from when you first do it.
Yeah,
It just
it
gets
does
bigger and
indeed.
bigger, doesn't it? I might try putting some, there we go, stalks on there. Very nice. I think there's just one missing detail on here. I think I need a bit of a house. So hopefully the blue isn't too wet. Yes, look at that.
Well, my silhouette's coming on a treat now. So it really stands out against the sunset, you see. They're very dark, very black.
Oh, yeah. Let's do a tiny bit of detail. There we go. I think I need a frame on that now. And look, where the water's kind of spread out, I've got clouds. That's worked well, hasn't it?
Fluffy clouds. Well, mine's done now as well. So we just finish that off. Of course, with the frame. Oh, look at that. Lovely. Look at this, Kirst. It's also a great way to copy a photograph. You see, what I've done here is picked out the sun and the sea and merged all the colours together to create this sort of impressionistic effect.
That's lovely. I really like the fact the paint's unpredictable on the wet paper.
Yeah, well, paint doesn't always behave the way you expect it to.
Mark's inspired me to do my own picture of an emergency services vehicle. I'm going to clay print a fire engine. So I've started my design on this rolled out modelling clay, and I've just been using a ruler to do that. In fact, I'm just going to add the ladder at the top there. Now the trick here is to press in, but not go all the way through. You need to make an indentation. That's looking cool. And then you can just use things you find around the house, because I'm going to do the wheels with this paper cup. Yep, like that. And the wheel innards with the bottom of some glue. There we go. And let's just get some hubcaps. And the other great thing about doing it like this on clay is that if you go a bit wrong, you can just kind of press over it and start again. But you can use your imagination as to what you can find to print with. Was my entire design. And you'll notice I have sat the modelling clay on a piece of paper. This is a bit of a top tip, because when you come to print, like now, it's very handy for lining up the paper, because I can just put my piece of paper on top of the other piece of paper to see where I'm going. Now you press firmly down, but make sure you don't move the paper sitting on top of the clay, because then you get a wobbly design. But press down all over so that it's printing. Moment of truth. Let's see what this looks like. Peel it off. Cool, now I can add to that, because I've done a separate print and cut it out so that it's just the fire engine that I've cut out there. And then I'm just going to repaint onto the modelling clay, this time in the lovely yellow colour here. Get it all over, loop it on. And then I'm going to use that cut-out fire engine to block out where I don't want to print this time. So sit it on top. I don't want to print my fire engine again because I like that red. Again, line up the paper as best you can. This time rub around the edges so that you're printing that yellow, and it will give you a lovely two-tone design like that one there. Isn't that a great effect? And these are some other ones I've done as well. There's the nightscape there, look, a cityscape that I've done in the round, which was cool to do. But my favourite, look at the igloo, that's worked really well. And I did that by printing on white first and then blocking bits out and printing over in blue. And I'm happy with that. But you know, if you're having trouble drawing vehicles, then you need an appointment with Dr. Spade.
Next. Now, what seems to be the problem?
I've drawn a bike, but it doesn't seem like it's going along.
And my aeroplane doesn't look real.
Ah, yes. Now, I have seen this before, but it can be cured, OK? So let's start with the bike first. Get a pencil. Draw out a very simple bike shape. Basically 2 circles, a triangle. There's your bike. Let's put a little chappy on top. Now, I'm actually leaning him forward because he's going very quickly down the hill. So it just draws attention to that. And now we can start fleshing it all out. Now, just to emphasise the fact that he really is moving, I'm going to draw his hat blowing off his head, his scarf flapping behind him, and some mud splashing from his rear wheel. And there you have one cyclist that's in a hurry.
Nice one.
Now, for the plane. Tom, you've done a very good plane, but it does look a little bit flat. Here's a little tip for you. Just draw yourself 2 baguettes that are crossed over each other. Then use that as a guide. Now, what you've got here, you see, you've got your body here, and then this oval here, which is the first wing, is a good guide for your second wing, which is behind the plane. When you're happy with that, then you can start using your ink. So just go over the top, like so. Add the canopy. And just suggest the propellers so it gives the impression that they're spinning round really fast. There you go, sir. If you take this, your little problem will clear up in no time at all. Now, is there anything else?
I'm a bit worried, Doctor. I think I might be a spider.
No, that's a web of lies. Web? Spider? Get it? Web spider. Very good. Yes. Next!
Oh, I think I'm going to get you a joke book for Christmas. Well, the work in our gallery is certainly no joke, and this is a lovely watercolour from Sam. I like the way the lines in the river make it look like it's really fast-flowing.
This is very majestic, isn't it? Rachel's Camels in the Sunset.
Look at Sodrell's futuristic cityscape. The birds appear to be flying upside down.
Rebecca's buildings look great. I like this very thick black outline. It works really well.
I like the way Jade has aged her Egyptian picture look.
This is really unusual. Look, Josie's Oriental picture.
The pencil lines on Rebecca's picture work really well underneath the paint. If we show your picture in our gallery, you get the Smart Sketchbook and the Smart Watercolour Pencil set.
Yes, sorry we can't return any of your work, but do keep it coming in because we love looking at it. The address will be shown at the end of the show, so get your pen and paper ready.
It's a good idea to have inspiration from where you live for your artwork, isn't it?
Yeah, just like Larry in his pictures of the Northwest. Lawrence Stephen Larry was born in Manchester in 1887. He went to art school in both Manchester and Salford, and while he was there started drawing matchstick people like this one in the picture, Going to the Match. Little did he know these figures would help make him famous. Larry got a job as a rent collector to finance himself as an artist, and he kept this job for 42 years. During this time, he walked a lot in the poorest streets of Manchester. It was there he got his inspiration, and he'd stop to do quick sketches on any paper he had to hand. Many of the paintings show bleak city landscapes, like this one called the Canal Bridge. Larry had his first exhibition at Manchester Art Gallery in 1919, but they got his name wrong and listed him as L.S. Lousy. Not a very good start. By the time he was in his 50s, he had become really successful, and in 1967, the Royal Mail used his picture coming out of school on a postage stamp. So that's L.S. Lowry. I know.
What?
No, sorry. Oh, why don't we go to the art gallery?
No, it's miles away.
Yeah, you're right.
Actually, Mark, don't you think that looks like a bit of modern art?
Yeah, it does, just like it.
That's given me a smart idea.
So what's the idea, Kirst?
Well, if we're not going to go to a gallery, let's make our own here.
Nice. What from?
There must be loads of stuff around the house. Come on. We can use this shoebox as the gallery. I've cut the door out already, look. So now we've got to make tiny works of art. Do you reckon your big clod hands will get in there?
Yeah.
I'm going to make a picture of a sunset with these bits out of magazines. So that blue bit's a nice background, and I need a sun.
I think I'll do a little modern art. Now, where's that penny? Oh, yes.
I think I'm ready to glue that down. Hey, Mark, what do you think of that?
Oh, that's lovely. Yeah. Hey, hang on, I need those for my artwork. I'm quite pleased with that. Let's have some fun with paint.
Actually, I could use the lid of the glue, couldn't I, as a bit of a stand? That's finished.
Yeah, let's take a proper look.
Just before you do, can I interest you in a Spate O'Brien gallery guide? Only £2.50.
What?
I do recommend it to make the most of your visit.
Oh, right, then I'll take one.
There you go.
There you go.
Thank you. A very productive afternoon, Mark.
Yes.
Yeah, bye.
Hang on a minute, Kirsten. This is blank. Now, thinking of arty locations, I thought I'd create an artistic map of my favourite journey, from my home to the seaside. And I thought I'd make a pop-up version, and I'll show you how I did it. First of all, you need 2 strips of paper, one slightly longer than the other. You then concertina it into 10 sections. You do exactly the same with the shorter strip, except you leave 2 little tabs. Now, I'll tell you why in just a bit. First of all, though, it's got to get rid of the background and start drawing my journey from the start, which is the city. So let's just draw a couple of skyscrapers we've got here, and actually got a little factory going on. What I'm using here is actually 2 sections for every part of my journey. Now, this does take quite a while, so I'll just show you one that I've coloured in because it does look rather good. Here it is. You see, there's the start of my journey. Then we go to the suburbs, the countryside, the seaside town, and then the beach, my favourite bit. All it needs now is a little bit of colour. I'm going to use my favourite brush pens. These are great because they give really nice washes of colour. I'll start off nice and light. Always start your colours as light as you can go and then work darker. OK, so let me get a bit of darker blue in here now. I've just left a little bit of white along this edge to show the breaking waves, the nice frothy waves. All you've got to do now is to cut the whole thing out. So let me show you. Look at that, isn't that lovely? All you've got to do now is bring back the background, stick it over the top. That's why you needed those little tabs, because they just lock onto the side there, like that, and then over there like that. And now add a final bit of detail. I've got my nice sun for the sunny beach, stick on a nice fluffy cloud for the seaside town, and there you have a record of your favourite journey in an arty pop-up card.
Oh, that's lovely. Oh, I love the seaside too. Look at what I got up to when I went to Blackpool.
What a beautiful day. I'm the king of all time. And nothing is impossible in my all-powerful mind.
Hello! I've come to Blackpool for a day trip, and there's loads of things I want to see and do. I've taken some photos to remind me of my day, but I want to do better than that. I want to create a piece of art that really tells the story of my trip. And to do that, I've got to collect as much paper during my day as possible.
Yes! So crazy right now. Most incredibly. It's your girl.
Woohoo!
I know what I need now. It says here that Blackpool was the first town in Britain to run electric trams. 119 years on, it's a good job they're still running because it's a chance for me to get another ticket from my day. I've seen so much. There's just one thing missing from my day. Blackpool Tower, of course.
It was originally going to be called the Blackpool Eiffel Tower. With a gorgeous ballroom at its base, the 110-year-old structure stands 518 feet tall.
Wow, what a fantastic view. This is the perfect place to start my artwork.
decided to use all the tickets and the paper that I've collected today to make a collage of all the sights I've seen in Blackpool. That way, I'll be able to remember everything, even how lovely the chips tasted. And then I'm going to add some detail using ink. I think that was my Dodgems ticket. That was brilliant fun. I'm not too sure about those clouds. I think I might come back to them. This yellow napkin's going to be perfect for sand. It still smells of my chips.
I feel good, I feel fine. Kicked the flu last week, now I'm alright.
Well, I'm happy I've featured everything, but I still haven't managed to use my chip paper. Ooh, hang on. That way, it's a bit too dark. If I turn it over, that might solve the problem of my dull clouds. That's what I'm going to do. Now that I've got all my paper stuck down, it's time to add some detail. I'm going to use ink, which will really stand out on the background, and I'm going to print using things that I've found during my day, like this lolly stick. Perfect, that's the ideal memento of my day, and I know exactly where to show it off.
Hey, Kirst, that looked like great fun. Well, look what I've done here, look. I've done a pop-up version of my dream journey all the way from home to Australia.
Ah, I tell you what, mate. Stick with me. I can make that happen for you.
Oh. Hey, I like this. I'm guessing this.
Green.
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
Green.
Yeah, nice one.
For you. Wanga, wanga, wanga. Oh, oh. There you go, Mark, the rolling hills of home, and then in the distance, Sydney in Australia.
Oh, that's lovely. That's Bonza, mate.
What?
That's a ripper scene.
Is that your attempt at an Australian accent?
Might be.
You flaming glad. Just put the viewers out the misery and say goodbye.
G'day, cobbers.
Bye.
What's wrong with it?
Really rubbish, man.
Don't forget, you can send your pictures to us here at Smart. PO Box 5053, London W12 6AW. Fact sheets for today's show can be found on the website, bbc.co.uk/cbbc. For the best in art, stick with Smart.